Hey everybody, thank you for clicking on this video. I really appreciate your support. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. I was thinking the other day, what's really inside an electrolytic capacitor? I mean, I know what's inside of it from a picture, which, by the way, you're seeing right now. I mean, it consists of two foils, an anode foil and a cathode foil, which then is connected with little leads, and the foils are separated by paper, and the paper is injected or absorbed with an electrolyte, and that's what gives it its capacitance. It's pretty simple. And yeah, so let's take a look at a real capacitor. I'll take one apart. It's a Nichicon capacitor, so they are one of the best, and we'll see what's inside. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so I'm using a large capacitor, 300 microfarad, 450 volts from Nichicon. And at this point, I've taken off the plastic coating, and what we're going to do is we're going to uncap it and pull out the actual foils and the paper and see what it looks like. So you can see it's really tightly wound. And there's the connectors where it interfaces with pins on the capacitor, so you can use it on a circuit board. And there is the actual capacitor pulled from the tin can, and you can see the leads there. And I'm starting to unfurl it, and you can see the tissue paper, and you're starting to see the actual foil at one side, at least anyway. And here's another picture where you can see both foils. You can see how it's separated by those papers, so they never touch, which is important. And I'm unfurling it some more. You can definitely see the actual anode and the cathode foil. And I've really unwound it at this point, so it's not going to go back, that's for sure. And you can see the actual connectors on the left, and we're going to take a closer look at that. And there they are. Notice how the actual connection points are in the middle. And that makes sense because the actual connection points, when you look at a capacitor, kind of are spaced in the middle. And there they are. Again, the whole capacitor is unwound at this point. And you can see the connectors on the left and the right of the foil. So again, the more surface area you have, the more capacitance you're going to get. So let's take a look under the microscope of what all this stuff looks like. Okay, so what I've done is I've put one of the foils under a microscope. Now, it's just a cheap electronic microscope, and obviously it's not laboratory grade or anything like that. However, it does give us a magnification advantage, so we can see what's really down there. And I don't know if you can see, but you can actually see some lines. Now, this foil here is etched. So from what I've read, and I'm clearly no expert in capacitors and how they're designed or made, but I do know that because of the etched foil, it gives it more surface area, and of course that increases the capacitance and obviously can reduce the size of the capacitor. And that's what we're looking at right now. So let's take a look at the other foil and see how that looks. Okay, so this is the other foil. Now it does look kind of a lot different than the other one. It looks like it has holes or patchy substrate of some sort. I don't know exactly why. However, this is a good capacitor. It's a Nichicon, so there must be a reason. Although I did look up that the electrolyte will actually kind of fill in those holes. Maybe by me separating it, I've taken some of the actual substance off of the foil. I'm not too sure. But we can see it's etched also, and of course that gives us greater capacitance. So let's take a look at the actual connection points of the two foils, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, so what we're looking at now is the actual connection point to the actual foil, and it's the same for both foils. So you can see it's actually kind of pressed onto the foil itself, or I think they call it cold welding. In any event, that's how the connection point is made between the foil and the actual pins or connector. All right, let's move on to something else. Okay, so I thought there was something else to show, but I think I've shown everything that I could. So that concludes this video. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support. Please consider subscribing. It's going to help my channel out a lot. I'm yet to be monetized, so I'm a bit far from that, but I will get there eventually. Anyway, take care. Bye for now.